Hey guys, thanks for coming to the blog post. The purpose of this post is I want to keep it 100% authentic with you. I want to keep it real with you. I want you to walk away with two truths from this short video. Number one, Santa Claus isn't real, and New Year's resolutions are bullshit. I'm half joking, although that's true. What I want you to see is the correlation between the actual two truths that I want you to walk away from, which is exercise will not get you into shape. And the only thing that you can control are your habits. So what does that mean? It's very much like Santa Claus and New Year's resolutions, right? We all know that Santa Claus isn't real, but we still pretend, right? We fall into these illusions because it's comforting. So people work their butt off in the gym. They go as hard as they can, and in the hopes that they're going to change their appearance in some way, improve their health in some way, and whatever other goals, so lose 30 pounds, whatever it is. And that's not necessarily wrong, right? There are some people out there that act like Santa Claus, so it's not totally wrong, but it's not the entire truth of the situation. Exercise will only get you so far, and you can't out-train not eating well or not taking care of your body. More exercise actually leads to worse health in a lot of cases. So there's a certain threshold, right? Not doing anything is bad. You have to learn how to move well and do it correctly. But then there's a certain threshold because we have to recover from that. You don't get better while you work out. You get better when you recover from that workout with proper nutrition, good sleep, drinking enough water, getting the right nutrients, blah, 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 blah. The other thing is that New Year's resolutions are basically totally imaginary. It's just like anything else. The whole year goes by and you're doing, whatever you do throughout the year. And then this magical day comes around and now all of a sudden you're going to change everything just because it's a certain day. The earth went around the sun again. So now everything's going to change, and that's just not true. And again, it's comforting to pretend. Magic shows are fun, but we know that we're just being tricked, right? And we're lying to ourselves. And so so what I want you to realize is that correlates to understanding that the only thing that you can really control is your behaviors. You can't control losing 20 pounds over the next year. You can't control necessarily how much weight you're going to be able to squat or deadlift or bench or something like that, or how much muscle you're going to be able to gain. You really can't control those things as much as we like to think that we can, and as much as fitness professionals will tell you you can do this, you can do that. The truth of the matter is, the only thing you can control is what you do on a daily basis. Those little decisions you make every day. Did you wake up and eat breakfast? What was in that breakfast? Did you get some movement in today? Did you sit on your butt all day? Did you watch 5 hours of television today? Did you eat a bunch of processed food today? So on and so forth. So we're just an accumulation of all those little decisions that we consciously make and unconsciously make. So half the battle is just becoming mindful of what you're actually doing. And you can start by journaling or keeping a record somehow, or joining an accountability group of some nature, which is why some programs like Weight Watchers and things like that have been effective to some degree with some people. They don't turn out to be long-term solutions because there's no real strategy behind it other than let's keep our calories in check and let's stay within this kind of point system, and let's just try to eat less and do more. Short term, sure, that will work. But what are you going to do a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and so on and so forth? You haven't really learned anything. You haven't learned what works best for your body. Take, for example, something like fruit. A lot of people think fruit's like the greatest thing on the earth, and they have nutrients, and some of those fruits are very high in nutrients, some aren't. Some fruits people are allergic to and it might kill them, and some it'll really benefit. So there's these general guidelines that work for most people, but then once you get past those kind of general obvious things, then you have to really figure out, okay, well, what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So you'll see this a lot with, people get into these political type camps where they're like, it's only paleo, it's only low carb, or some people are, it's only high carb, or low fat, or full fat, or, and all these other crazy things. And the fact of the matter is, it's not that black and white. There's all these nuances, there's all these gray areas, there's all these spectrums of where you fall into this or that. And so we have to do a little guess and check, and we have to go through the process of finding out what works for you. And the only way to really actually do that is to take about 12 months and go through the process of hitting all of our marks, getting up to a good baseline level, and then seeing how our body responds. Because we simply don't know. We don't have the technology to just take a sliver of, skin or a swab of your saliva and say, this is exactly what you need to eat. There's no perfect diet. There's no perfect workout plan. It just doesn't exist. So we have to go through the journey of figuring out what works for you. And that takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of effort, but it's actually so simple. You just have to use a good strategy and then track that and see how it goes. And ideally, you would have somebody who's qualified, who knows what they're doing, that's done it before, to help you along that way, to speed up your learning curve and to accelerate your progress. This is what our nutritional coaching program is. And I'm not trying to sell you on it, because honestly, if you're not into it, I don't want to work with you. That may sound kind of messed up, but it's the truth. If you don't understand the value of putting good things into your body, then you have to do a lot of work before we can even talk. It's very much like investing or saving for your retirement. It's not a sexy issue, right? Especially for 20-something-year-old people, 30-something-year-old people. Even a lot of people in their 40s aren't really looking at retiring properly or doing the right things, because you have to go through your budget, you have to go through your income, you have to go through your debt, you have to go through, where am I going to do this with that? It takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of effort, but it doesn't have to be that mundane and that depressing. It can be fun. You can look at it like a challenge. You can discover new things about yourself and really upgrade your lifestyle almost instantaneously with little to no effort. So just to give you an example, in our nutritional coaching program, the best I've seen is about 15 pounds of pure fat lost in about 3 months. That's incredible. Okay, that never happens to anybody ever. They might lose 15 pounds, but they don't know if it's fat or muscle. And this is what happens in a lot of other types of programs that are trying to, quote unquote, control your weight. You may lose pounds, but you don't want to necessarily lose pounds. That's not a sign that you got healthier. And this is what a lot of the medical field kind of overlooks and just puts a broad paintbrush stroke across. Losing weight is actually a bad thing. Your body doesn't want to lose weight per se. Now that's kind of a general statement. Obviously, if you're 350 pounds, yes, losing weight is a good thing. But if you're kind of in a normal range, if you're a 150 pound person, adult, to a 200 pound adult, somewhere in that neighborhood, then your body doesn't necessarily want to lose weight. It will want to lose fat, but weight takes into account a lot of different things. We want to pack on muscle, right? We want to maintain a good baseline of muscle so that we can keep our immune system functioning well. Our brain functions better when we have more muscle. You feel more alive, you feel more energetic. You can stand outside in the cold and not shiver like a little child. But your body doesn't necessarily want tons of fat. It wants a certain amount of fat because fat is good, but it doesn't want excess amounts. That shows that something's wrong. So coming back to our 2 things that I want you to walk away from: Santa Claus is not real. I'm sorry, kids. And New Year's resolutions are complete horse crap. Why would you wait for one specific day of the year to try to get better? Why don't you treat every single day as if it's a new year for yourself and take action on that and take little baby steps? So instead of saying, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in the next month, 3 months, whatever people say, how about I'm going to eat 1 more serving of vegetables every single day for the next month? That, for most people, is very doable. And that will have a much more dramatic impact on your long-term health than trying to kill yourself in the gym, running yourself into the ground, still continuing to not eat as well as you should be, whether it's because you just can't form the habits, or you don't know what the habits are. So again, and then so translating those over, you can't control anything other than your behaviors. Okay, and if you try to bite off more than you can chew, you're gonna crash and burn with those behaviors every single time. So it's gotta be slow baby steps, okay? Don't try to bite off more than you can chew. And if you're looking to get time-tested, proven strategies with an expert that will accelerate your learning curve and put you into position to just continuously lose fat and gain muscle, which is what most people don't really figure out. They'll either do one or the other. They don't really understand the concept of your body doesn't necessarily need to get lighter on a scale. It just needs to lose fat. So if you're looking for those strategies, we're having a transformation. You can call it a challenge, but it's not really a challenge. It's more like who can do the best. And we're going to take 12 months starting in January. So you have to sign up within the next couple of days to take advantage of this. And you can win a cash prize at the end of it based on how big the pool is. I'm looking for 10 people to be in this inaugural kind of class where we're going to go really kind of intensive into this process, into this journey of figuring out exactly what works for you from a food perspective, from an exercise perspective, from a stress management perspective, and a bunch of other things that you probably haven't even thought of or haven't consciously addressed yet. And we're going to get all these variables into a place that works for you, for your that works with your schedule, that works with your energy level, that undulates with you over the year. Nothing is fixed. Your workout shouldn't be fixed. Your nutrition shouldn't be fixed. You go through higher stress periods and lower stress periods. You go through vacation times and you go through, really hard work times. There's the dog days of summer and there's the chilling by the pools days of summer. So, all these things flex and bend, and your body does the same thing. It's in constant flux. So you have to have a strategy that undulates and adapts with you. And learning how to do that will give you the keys to the ship, so to speak, so that you can steer wherever you want to go. And it puts you into the driver's seat and allows you to take control for once, as opposed to just trying to follow a paleo diet, just trying to follow a low carb diet, just trying to do something that you read on some magazine or some website or something like that. You will be able to see through all the BS that's out there and really get to the core of the issue, which is what works for me specifically. And it's almost like getting a degree in yourself so that you know what to do, you know how to change it, and as your body changes over the years, how to adapt to aging, how to adapt to, all those things that come with just getting older in general. And when stressful things come up, you'll be more aware of them and how to counteract those, and we'll develop strategies to buffer those things. The goal here is not perfection. Nobody eats perfectly, including myself. It's about enjoying the process of living healthier. It doesn't have to be this crazy restrictive elimination type things. You might have to go through some elimination phases to see what works and what doesn't, but it's about adding more value into your body and into your life, onto your plate, and that's just gonna show in every other facet of your life. You're going to be better at work. You're going to be a better parent. You're going to be a better husband or wife. You're going to be a better anything that you try to do. You're just going to have more energy. You're going to be happier. It's just a good thing. And then you can pass this information on to your kids, to your friends, to your loved ones, to your coworkers, whoever. And you can kind of become that fitness person if you want to. But I encourage you to share the information as we go along. So again, kind of wrap it up here. So let's really understand those two concepts and really walk away with that, because exercise alone will not do it. Santa Claus isn't real. And the only thing that we can control is our habits. The decision, what are you going to do after you're done watching this video? What is the next decision you're going to make? Are you going to go and get something that gets you closer to your goal or further away from your goal? Does it make you a bad person if you say go to McDonald's or eat a bunch of cookies or have 6 beers in the next 5 hours? That doesn't make you a bad person. But what it does, or what you should start thinking about, is is this getting me closer to my goal? Is it upgrading my energy? How do I feel when I eat those things or drink those things? And also take it back a couple steps. Why am I going for those things? A lot of the times when you just become more aware of why am I doing this, then you kind of create some space between the impulse and the action, and then you can say, oh, I don't really necessarily need that cookie. I'm just kind of eating it because I'm bored, or I'm stressed out, so I'm reaching for a beer, or whatever it is. Again, it doesn't make you bad or good. Food is not bad or good. It's neutral. It's how you use it. It either serves your purpose or doesn't. I like to make the analogy of driving from New Jersey to California. If you put it into the GPS, it's going to show you the most direct route, right? But if you decide to take a left when you should have kept going straight, well, that doesn't make you a bad person or a bad driver. It's just, you just made a decision that doesn't get you closer towards California. You're headed towards Philly now instead of going towards California. When the goal is to get to California. So if you can realize that, hey, it might be fun to make that left to go south to Philly, it doesn't necessarily move us closer towards our goal. And if we can get back on track, then we'll rapidly increase our results. And so I'm kind of that GPS for you that will show you the way and will help you strategize when some of those roadblocks come up. Some roads might be under construction, or the map might not have been updated in a while, or we need to maybe take a lateral step. Maybe we need to make that left every once in a while to make you feel like you can do whatever you want. You don't have to be on this strict path. But maybe, we take the scenic route for a little bit and then we veer back onto a straighter path. So working together, we devise these plans and these strategies that actually work in the real world when you have to pick up the kids, when you didn't sleep well last night, when your boss is on your back, when you just can't make it to the gym or whatever the case might be, or you're feeling sick or whatever. We come up with real world solutions that's actually going to work for you. All right. So that's kind of the whole long and short of it here. I wanted to keep it short. Unfortunately, I went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but hopefully you got something out of it. Please share this with one of your friends or something like that, because if you are going to do our nutritional coaching transformation challenge in 2016, it's best to do it with a buddy, because that nearly doubles your rate of success. If you can do it with, say, a spouse or your best friend at work or your girlfriend or your best buddy or whatever it is, that extra accountability with the person that you actually see every day or talk to every day will be like, hey, did you do what you had to do? How are you doing? You can talk about the kind of the struggles and you can talk about the victories. You're just in the trenches together with someone other than myself and some other than the group that we create online. Because a large part of this is we have a secret Facebook group where we coach you every single day on what you should be doing and how to do it. You'll have to check in with me. There's a community of people that can see what you're doing. We can all learn from each other. But if you can have a real world person standing right next to you while you go through it, your success rate almost doubles instantly without you having to do any extra work or any extra, putting any extra energy into it. So a couple things to think about. Again, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this and listen to me. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email. It's my name, Dan, Dan, .kstrength@gmail.com. If you have any questions about the contest or just any questions about nutrition or exercise or anything else, or if you're just curious about why am I standing outside in the middle of the winter with shorts on, you can't see me. But if you have any questions, please reach out. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I hope I kept it real enough, and I hope you no longer believe in those things, because once you get past the illusion, then you can actually see the truth, and then the world actually becomes a much better place, and then we can start helping ourselves and helping other people. All right. Thanks, guys. Peace out. Love you all. Let's have a great 2016 realistically by taking small actionable steps, whether it's with us or by yourself or with somebody else. I don't really care, but let's actually take action. I want to see people actually doing stuff. Talking about it's great. Facebook posts are great. But nobody really gets anywhere when they do that. So let's actually do something. Let's be different. And let's do it in baby steps, because that's the way that real change occurs. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.